This is the washing machine. It's a 6 kg washing machine, fuzzy logic from Panasonic, model number NAF60F5. Actually got water levels until 45 liters. It's basically manually you can select this. Got wash, rinse, spin process. Also you can manually select. You can actually choose one of the process, and once power on, you can select any of the program like normal washing, speedy washing, delicate, turb dry, reserve, child lock. Any of these program can you use it. Child lock is basically it's not a type of washing, but it's just for child lock, you all know. And if you want soaking, there's option 1 hour, 3 hour, 8 hour soaking options. And this is just in between if you want to pause or hold. So press one time, it will hold the whole process. Even if it's washing, rinsing or spinning, whatever process it is, once you press hold, it will pause there. And later you can have some time, like I don't know, maybe like half an hour or somewhere. Until that time it will still keep it in the memory. Beyond that it actually will stop the whole process. So anytime after that, when you press start, it will resume the process. And actually some of the cautions and unbalanced recovery, those kind of information over here. And this is the wiring diagram. Okay, so there is a motor drain valve, and this is the color of wire connected to it. There is a capacitor. This is the motor and different color connection. Okay, I think this is power supply. Blue, which is the main, green, yellow, this is actually for the ground, and ground or earth. Then this is the negative line, brown or black goes. Okay, so there is electronic control over here. There's a safety valve, safety switch. Okay, this is a safety switch. There's a pressure sensor, and there's a feed valve. Okay, this is basically the wiring diagram. And this is the serial number, model number, label on this. This is made in Thailand. I think the quality is really good. After I remove this cover, inside you can see how is the tub is hanging. It's the wiring connection. Maybe I'm the only one still using this model, I think, because it's very old. It's almost, maybe it's even 15 years plus. So it's a really old machine, and see these plastic hoses and everything is still holding, except that only the body is pretty much banged up. It's rusty and shaky, but it's okay. It's still working fine. It's got 4 side mounts, so this is the model I got, the new belt. This is the size. I couldn't get the exact old belt, and this new belt actually cost me $8.50 Singapore dollars. Okay, so I'm going to install it and see. So even though this one, okay, the previous one was 19.8 and the new one that I bought is 20, because they only had 19 and 20, no other values in between. So I just thought, okay, I will just get this M20, and because this is more closer to 19.8 rather than I buy M19. Okay, so now I'm going to install this and we'll see. It will still work. You know why? Because by size, even if these two looks almost same, the difference going to happen is in the ID, because the old belt is already worn off. There will be a little bit of diameter difference. This will be more higher compared to this. The new one will still be more tighter, even though it's M20, it will still be more tighter. The old one is worn off and the new one is more more fresh, so you will have more grip and holding on the wheels of the washing machine, which will eventually make it so this washing machine is very old and it's totally rusty, but I don't want to throw it away because all the remaining functions, it's all really working well, good, and everything is still good. So this is the see, oh my god, no, don't come off. Okay, yeah, it went back in. Okay, so this is where the gear locks and stops the drum from rotating. Everything else is perfect and fine. So once I just get this belt on, I can just start. And this is a motor, Panasonic's own motor, or could be a different company. And this is the connection to the drum where they connected all the mechanisms. This is from motor. We'll have a belt connected to this drum mechanism, and you see here this is a brake. Basically this brake applies and stops the drum from rotating, especially during the spin operation and all. And here they have a brake mechanism, and this is how it functions. And this is a magnetic operation which actually pulls these things to operate. So as you can see, this new belt is already a bit tight, even though it's a 0.2 on the higher end. So I'll just pull and drop it down on this wheel, and later I will fix it. So in order to install the belt, I actually had to loose this wheel a bit so that I could get that enough play and side shift to get this belt on this wheel. And as you can see here, there is a notch here. In that notch this bolt will go and sit. So now I have to tighten this bolt using a spanner and just lock this nut here. Okay, so actually after tightening this bolt here, I did a hammer on this side using a mallet. So it was actually to move this mechanism down to this side to make the belt a bit more tight. So as you can see on the hole here, see, it's not a straight hole, but it's a long hole. I mean, it's a wider hole. So if you hammer this mechanism, it will go this direction. So make sure that it's fully gone to this side, making sure that this motor sits fully extended and away from this drum mechanism here, which will make the belt much more tighter. Okay, so basically hammering on this side and this side. So I already tightened this bolt and this bolt. Make sure that it's fully tight. There is a lock washer here, so it should keep the bolt in that tight position without letting it being loose, because during the drying operation the drum will have a very high amount of vibration, which could make this bolt loose later when you are operating the washing machine. So just make sure that it's firmly tight, and at the same time make sure that you are not over tightening it, because it could really break off. Once the thread is damaged, that's it. You have to just have to do a big amount of repair on it, or otherwise better you just replace your washing machine later on. So just take note on that, don't over tighten any of the things. So now I'm seeing that the belt is quite okay. It's not very loose and not very tight. I think it should work as it is. The tools that I use for this. Okay, let's see whether it's working or not. I actually filled up a bit of water here. So once I press on button, then I just press start. So it will go and do a water selection based on the load. So it's detecting the load by rotating the drum, not the drum, the basic